After officially introducing a reimagined Broly into the Dragon Ball canon, what if Dragon Ball Super chose not to hit the ground running with the Maro arc, and instead focused on the developing lore at the time? What if there were direct consequences from 17's wish after the Tournament of Power? Among all the fighters our heroes had faced during their decades-long odyssey, beginning as the misadventures of a strange, monkey-tailed boy, it quickly evolved into regular battles to save the Earth, universe, and more. Goku would face other aliens with otherworldly techniques, ancient beings with unbelievable power, and magical creatures who bend logic itself. Most recently, Goku and Vegeta came face to face with a formidable new Saiyan who had appeared. They struggled to beat this mighty foe who personified brute force incarnate. As such, and rather begrudgingly of the prince as to not damage his pride, they ended up uniting their power to put down the monster they were faced with. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan himself, formerly cast off to a distant world during his childhood. Goku's pristine, pure mind led him to see the goodness within the legendary warrior's soul. He wasn't a bad guy, just misled and born into unfortunate circumstances. Our hero would even visit him on planet Vampa to deliver some much-needed supplies, and much-appreciated supplies given the barren climate of the uncivilized world. Broly then felt indebted towards Goku. Up until recently, his father Paragus was the only other person he ever knew. Between Chila and Limo, who first showed kindness and empathy, now another Saiyan, an inconceivable friendship was born. While everything was quiet all over the 7th universe, Android 17 travels the oceans with his family, just as he desired. However, an event from the past was about to impact the future. The unknowing warrior's selfless wish back at the Tournament of Power had an unexpected effect on the multiverse around him. The consequences of the seemingly benevolent action will shape the future on a much larger scale than previously believed. Meanwhile, on planet Sadala in Universe 6, Caulifla begs Champa to teach her some secret techniques, though the fat cat merely kicks back, slurping on his drink, appearing to be completely uninterested in improving the combat abilities of his universe's fighters. When his focus is abruptly pulled to something else, turning to his left, he wonders what in the world that force is he's feeling. While the Saiyan in the background remains on her one-track mind. The ground begins to rumble. They ponder if it's an earthquake, but it's a much different kind of tremor. Champa wonders what his brother is doing in this universe. Turning to her would-be mentor, Caulifla asks if this is one of the techniques he's going to teach her today. Screaming to her sister in arms, the revenge on Goku is getting close. Ever so slightly, a little too enthusiastically. Universe 11, Top kneels before Belmont. As one could guess, the former is continuing along his path and becoming a god of destruction. When they too feel an astounding energy, but this time it's Goku. Margarita chuckles, it's almost as if you were really close by. But how could that be possible? What is happening in these universes? And in our universe, on Earth, it appears as if several tornadoes have overtaken a city. Saving a crowd of people inside a bus, Krillin does his best to control himself and maintain his duty. He tells everyone not to panic and to get out one by one. Doing so, Krillin removes his helmet to face skyward. In his mind, he asks his friend, doesn't he feel his frenzied quest for power is going too far? Beerus' world, Whis also gazes into the universe. When he gets a message from someone, Shin and Old Kai. Sheepishly, the Supreme Kai rubs the back of his head to first apologize for the unannounced call. But the universe itself is shaking. Moreover, he feels Son Goku's and Lord Beerus' auras going berserk. All things considered, he would like an explanation for what's currently going on. Who at first only appears to subtly giggle at the question, before then telling his dear Shin what's happening. It's a culmination of training of Son Goku.
Stop running, Saiyan! It doesn't suit you! Come over here!
The alien native moves closer, curious of Goku. The Saiyan screams for him to get out of here, knowing full well what's going on up in space. Blasting from the planet, Goku can only wonder why Beerus would put an entire world and species in danger. And realizes, one has hitched a ride. The destroyer bellows for Goku to get ready. Back with Whis, he elaborates on how the pair left 30 minutes ago already. The Oracle Fish is amazed someone has been able to keep a fight going with Lord Beerus for so long. This Earthling really is astonishing. The Angel has a bad feeling and thinks it might be a good idea to join him. And the Oracle has a vision. He cryptically utters, "We'll act upon our own ending. Universe. Consequences." Whis glances down. Might this somehow be linked to the fight happening now? On Earth, the rumbling stops at last. Boo throws his arms in the air to shout he's hungry, while the former holds his granddaughter and introduces her to his pal Boo. The pair are revealed to be at Capsule Corp for a gathering of some kind. Chi-Chi growls Goku better hurry up and get here already, as Videl assures her not to worry, he shouldn't take too long. Gohan is so eager to see him. Piccolo points out it appears Goku's, referring to him as son, his surname like in the original manga. Training has finished. He will be returning soon. Looking up. Speaking of training, Gohan vows to get back to it himself. You never know what might happen and it might be needed. His longtime friend is glad to hear it. While his spirit is admirable, the Namekian wonders what will become of his studies. But he'll find a compromise between these two lives, somehow. Planet Pishin, 2,000 times Earth's gravity. On this distant world, Vegeta trains vigorously, not only enduring the planet's immense natural pull, but also sporting hand and ankle weights, though he can't stop the feeling. All of these trainings are becoming totally useless. Hitting a wall. What else can the prince do to further his goal? Will he find his own path to power, following his personal strengths like in Super? Meanwhile, a few minutes ago, Goku appears heavily damaged. He stutters to tell Beerus that without him intervening, the destroyer would have extinguished an entire civilization. But he only grins. He guesses he'd just be doing his job as God of Destruction. Will Goku further his path in mastering Ultra Instinct and finally surpass Lord Beerus? Or is he only treading water in a long, fruitless endeavor? Turning to the child who grabbed onto him, he staggers to assure everything will be alright and he shouldn't worry. But falling back to his base and collapsing, it's just as Piccolo suspected. The battle is over. Closing his eyes, Beerus admits never before has a mortal offered such a fight. Even within gods, rare are those who force him to use such power. However, he shorts Goku has reached his limits. With Goku, Beerus' words fade into nothing. The Saiyan has visions of his friends back home. Vegeta scowls. You're completely on the ropes, Kakarot, as Baba shouts for Goku to wake up. But what is this place? What is going on with our hero? He then sees water? Right in time. He was getting thirsty.
What is...
After firing that monstrous attack at Beerus, the god transforms to reveal a new form. He hisses for Goku to be proud. He can barely remember the last time he combined these two powers. Zipping away, the deity assures whatever he does is useless. As things are now, the Saiyan is as slow as a turtle. Even Whis is surprised at how much the two are pushing it. Ultra Instinct combined with his destructive form, or possibly Ultra Ego. Beerus indeed recognizes Goku as a powerful warrior. Winding up, Beerus gets ready for the oncoming blast, cackling just when his body was getting rusty. And just as our heroes gives out. And just as the Destroyer was getting really into it, the Angel explains that form is really hard to control, even for Goku. When it dawns on the Catman, his planet was destroyed during this fight! On the sacred world of the Kais, old Kaio catches up on some reading, while Shin wonders which kind of power Goku used to shake the entire universe. When Beerus and Whis appear, as the former snatches a servant's staff, he stomps over in the Kaioshin's direction, who in a panic addresses his counterpart. Terrified, he questions what the sudden visit's about. Shoving the staff in his face, he inquires he can fix his planet, can he? Which, technically, yes, he can, as Whis reminds that staff is precious, as he knows. As the gang arrive back at the former planet, Shin is baffled to discover only a few floating rocks remain. Is this all? The Angel offers a chuckle to admit, as funny as it sounds, that is the case. But with a furious glare, Beerus questions what's wrong. The Kaioshin better not say he's unable to do his job. But no, that's not it at all. It's just going to take him a bit longer than expected. With that settled, he informs Whis they'll now go to retrieve Goku. His atmosphere aura will expire soon. Though his servant quells, he not underestimate the Angel's abilities, signifying Whis is the reason the Saiyan has been able to survive in deep space. A little later at the Grand Priest's palace, we're met with a spectacular view of his kingdom. It appears he has called a conference to speak to the angels. He thanks him for their presence here. The Grand Priest warns, before all, not a single word of what he has to say can leave this place. If the Omni Kings were to become aware, heavy sanctions will be issued. They already know why they're here, but they're all missing one critical bit of information. Lapis, the Earthling from Universe 7, he wished to restore the universes which disappeared during the Great Tournament. The problem is, this also restored the 7 universes which were void for an eternity. One of the angels interrupts to clarify. Did he really mean to say 7 other universes? Weren't there only 18 universes initially? Where did this additional realm come from? And the fact that there were originally 18 universes isn't the entire truth. While he never mentioned it to any of them, there was a 19th universe as well. It was called Universe 0. Kusu beckons her father. Why hide it? What is the importance of it? He admits he had no choice. His numerous children begin to speculate on the reasoning. They eventually come to the idea that this additional universe must have housed a traitor or rogue angel of some kind, when a new face appears from behind to suggest that maybe it's the Grand Priest who's the traitor. The Grand Priest gets a chill knowing he should have figured this would happen today. The woman enters to declare the one they refer to as father is nothing more than a coward too afraid to face his own past actions. These accusations naturally aggravate the various angels. Mojito barks just who does she think she is to judge their father? Margarita quells calm himself. They have to remain neutral no matter the situation. The woman continues to bellow they have all been left in the dark, and she never abandoned them. If they will, she would like to enlighten them to this imposter's past. A few minutes earlier, on Beerus' planet, Whis asks Goku how he feels now. His fighting abilities have taken on incredible proportions. The Saiyan apologizes for this. He was so obsessed at the possibility of defeating Lord Beerus, he might have taken things too far. However, the Destroyer chuckles at the very thought, warning the young mortal against dying with his mouth so wide open. Though Goku has to laugh himself that he really isn't so young anymore. With that, Whis figures it's about time to heal the warrior, but he has a minor objection. If possible, he wants to keep the scar on his back. He only wants to remove it when he himself is able to inflict such damage on Lord Beerus, causing the god to jump up shouting to touch him if he can. And such a thing can easily be done. Healed up, Goku compliments Whis' powers are just as good as Senzu Beans. It's really useful under critical circumstances. Whis seems to take exception to this, appearing to narrow his eyes to comment how these Senzu he speaks of essentially contain angel powers. Likely another mortal deity line the gods do not like crossed. When the angel notices some petals floating in the air, identifying they're from the magnolia flower, he sees Shin decided to take some liberties when recreating this planet. Something Beerus doesn't like at all. At any rate, they question Goku what he plans on doing now. And to be honest, he doesn't really know. He still has to master his own power, and he doesn't believe there's a power above Ultra Instinct. Yet, he still didn't manage to win. First with Jiren, now Beerus. Other than that, he thinks it'd be a good idea to go home to his wife and kids. Chi-Chi must be worried to death. Escorting the Saiyan back to Earth, Goku mentions, by the way, Whis never told him what he plans on doing. And at the moment, he has something to check on. He has a bad feeling. But what could be causing him of all people, a literal angel, to be this worried? The truth is, he feels a new presence. A tremendous force concentrated at one point that was not there previously. Reaching out for him, Goku places his hand on Whis' shoulder, pleading to let him handle it. The angel merely utters for him to remove his hand. Standing with his convictions, Whis repeats himself with a more serious tone. Clearly at an impasse, he tells Goku it's not the Saiyan's job to handle the problems of the universe. But as if it would be the first time, of course it's his job, urging him to just trust him. Relenting, his mentor finally agrees. However, he's unable to come with him right now. The Grand Priest has summoned him. If he needs him, all he has to do is press this button. Our hero thanks him. Though if he wants the angel's opinion, his assistance is completely unreasonable. But the warrior promises not to disappoint him. After taking a quick diversion, they arrive at their destination. A swirling void in the emptiness of space. Universe 0.